Hey everyone! Welcome to my channel. It's your boy V.B.M, and I'm here to bring you stories that matter. Stories that reveal the hidden truths and untold realities of life around us. The Shadows of Koinange Street, 200 shillings a shot. Koinange Street is one of Nairobi's most famous roads. By day, it's a bustling hub of businesses, offices, and traffic. But as the sun sets and the city lights flicker on, the street undergoes a transformation. It becomes a realm of whispers, a world where desperation meets survival, and where 200 shillings, a single shot, can mean the difference between a meal and hunger. The Queen of the Night. Every night, aching, a young woman in her early 20s, prepares for the street. Dressed in a tight black dress and high heels that click loudly on the pavement, she becomes someone else. She calls herself Shiko because the name feels detached from the girl she once was, a rural girl with dreams of becoming a teacher. That life is far behind her now. Shiko has been on Koinange Street for 3 years. For her, the term shot for 200 is more than a phrase, it's a grim reality. For just 200 shillings, less than $2, she sells moments of her life to strangers in the back seats of cars or dingy hotel rooms. It's degrading and dangerous, but the money is quick, and in a city where life is unforgiving, it's her only way to survive. The New Girl. One evening, as Shiko stood on her usual spot near a flickering streetlight, she noticed a new face, a young girl, barely 18, nervously shifting in place. Her name was Wanja, and she was fresh from her village, lured to Nairobi by the promise of a better life. But dreams turned to dust when she failed to find work. Rent was due, and her landlord had threatened to throw her out. Desperate, Wanja had turned to the street. Shiko approached her, warning her about the dangers of Koinange. "This place will chew you up and spit you out," she said. But Wanja didn't have a choice. She needed money, even if it meant selling her body for 200 shillings a shot. The dangers of the street. Life on Koinange Street is not for the faint-hearted. The clients, often called shots, come in all forms. Drunken men looking for cheap thrills, office workers hiding behind tinted windows, and even law enforcement officers who turn a blind eye for a small cut. But not every encounter ends safely. One night, Shiko watched as Wanja climbed into a car with a man who looked respectable in his suit and tie. Hours later, Wanja stumbled back to the street, bruised and crying. The man had refused to pay her and had beaten her when she protested. Shiko comforted her, but the incident was a stark reminder of the dangers they faced every night. For just 200 shillings, a price many wouldn't think twice about spending on a cup of coffee, these women risked their lives. The unseen side. Behind the bright lights and honking cars, Koinange Street has its own hierarchy. There are the high-end girls, who operate in posh hotels and cater to wealthy clients. Then there are the street-level workers like Shiko and Wanja, who depend on quick transactions in parked cars or alleys. At the very bottom are the girls who are desperate enough to accept anything, sometimes even food instead of cash. One of these girls was Mama Tiri, a woman in her 40s who had been on the street longer than anyone could remember. She often warned the younger girls about the dealers, men who would lure them with promises of higher pay but instead traffic them to other cities or countries. "Once you go with them, you're gone," she would say, her voice raspy from years of cigarette smoke. But desperation often clouded judgment, and many girls ignored her warnings. A tragic night. One rainy night, the true darkness of Koinange Street revealed itself. Wanja had been missing for hours, and Shiko grew worried. When she finally found her, it was too late. Wanja's lifeless body was discovered in a back alley, her face pale and her lips blue. The police arrived but showed little interest. "Just another street girl," one officer muttered as they zipped her into a body bag. The other women mourned her silently, knowing that it could have been any one of them. The city moved on, indifferent to her death, as though her life had never mattered. The cycle continues. Despite the dangers, Koinange Street remains alive every night. The women keep coming, new faces, old veterans, all bound by the same desperation. Shiko continues her nightly routine, haunted by Wanja's memory but unable to leave the street. The money, meager as it is, keeps her afloat. She dreams of escaping, of finding a job and living a normal life. But the city's grip is strong, and the cycle is unbreakable. For 200 shillings, these women sell more than just their bodies. They sell their dignity, their dreams, and sometimes their lives. Koinange Street is not just a place. It's a symbol of Nairobi's hidden struggles, where the glow of the city lights hides the shadows of poverty, exploitation, and despair. The Forgotten Women. Few talk about the women of Koinange Street. They're invisible to the city, dismissed as nuisances or moral failures. But their stories are real, their pain undeniable. As Shiko stands under the streetlight, watching the cars pass by, she wonders if anyone will ever see them, not just as 200 shilling shots, but as human beings with stories worth telling.